guys, welcome back to our channel Sweet Tooth Twins. I'm Shreya.
And I'm Shruti.
And today we're going to be making buttermilk bread.
If you're craving warm buttermilk bread straight from the oven, this recipe is for you. Let's get started.
For this recipe, you're going to need 1/4 cup warm water, 2 teaspoons or 1 packet of yeast, about ½ cup honey, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 3/4 teaspoon baking soda, 2 tablespoons butter, 2 cups buttermilk in room temperature, 6 cups all-purpose flour, and cooking spray. The first step is to activate our yeast into a bigger mixing bowl.
So we're going to add the water and then we're going to add in the yeast.
So now we're just going to whisk together the yeast and the water. And now we're going to let it rest for 5 minutes. So now that our yeast has activated, we're just going to mix it around. And we're going to start adding in our wet ingredients. So the first step is to add 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Now we're going to add in our honey. Our sugar, baking soda, and salt. Then the next step is to simply mix it. Our next step is to add in all the ingredients we've mixed so far into our electric mixer. And now we're going to slowly add in the all-purpose flour. Okay, so now we're going to start adding in the all-purpose flour. I'm just going to start off with 3 cups. So you're going to mix this on a slow speed. And I'm going to wait for it to completely mix together before I add the rest of the dough.
So now that our dough is very well mixed, I'm going to add in the rest of the all-purpose flour.
So now we're going to add in another 1/4 cup buttermilk. So we chose to add the rest of the buttermilk into our dough. And now we're just going to let it mix on medium power for about 3 minutes. And then we're going to add in our 2 tablespoons of butter and we're going to let it knead for about another 5 minutes. So now we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of our butter. And we're going to let it mix for another 5 minutes.
So our dough is now ready, and for this recipe we used an electric mixer, but you can also knead it by adding the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, and we kneaded it, and this is shown in our previous video making the dinner rolls. So now that our dough is ready, we're going to first start by putting our dough on a flat surface like our countertop. We're going to sprinkle some all-purpose flour on our flat surface. Now that we have placed our dough on top of the flat surface, we're going to be adding some more all-purpose flour on top of the dough so it's easier to knead.
So now that our dough is ready, it is very soft and smooth. So now one of our final steps is to simply put a small coating of olive oil, or you can also add some of your remaining butter to the bowl. So now we're just gonna add the dough into the bowl. And make sure you tuck the dough in. And now you're gonna let your dough rise for about an hour, and make sure you put a small coating of olive oil on top of your dough as well. And now you're simply gonna cover your dough with something like a wet cloth or saran wrap.
So as you can see, our dough is ready and it doubled its size. So what we're gonna first do is we're gonna place this onto our flat surface and we're gonna knead it. But before that, we're just gonna punch it. So we take out all the air bubbles out. Okay, and now we're just gonna place this onto our flat surface. And we're just gonna knead it a little bit more. So we've finished kneading it for about 2 minutes. Now we're gonna cut the dough into 2 sections. And since we only have 1 bread pan, we were a little bit creative with this, and we're gonna do it this way. So we've shaped both of our dough pieces in almost the same shape. And I have sprayed the pans with cooking spray. You can also use butter. Okay, now we're just gonna place them in our pans. Just make sure there's no cracks. Okay, now we're just gonna let this sit for about 20 minutes and then we're gonna place it in the oven. Till then, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
So now that we've let it rest for about 20 minutes, we're just gonna pop it into the oven. See you on the other side.
So we are done applying the butter on the bread and it looks nice, shiny, and glossy. If you want, you can add more butter. Now we're just gonna put the foil on top.
Please be careful because the pan is hot.
So now we're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes and then you can start slicing it because it's still really hot.
Wow, look at this bread. The shape and the color. Nobody can tell that it's homemade. Shruti, why don't you make a slice?
It looks perfect. I think we should finish this before anyone comes.
No, wait. Dad is coming, girls.